The latest rankings of Divine Emperors in Yulan City place Luofong Divine Emperor at rank 33. Although the insect nest chose to retreat when facing Luofong ultimately did not engage in a public battle to prove his strength. Rank 33 still reflects his reputation. All parties in Yulan City thought Luofong would take actions to seize more benefits in the city. Yet Luofong remained low-key, showing no interest in competing for profit. In the inner city, inside an ordinary cave mansion, 5 cultivators were gathered. This Luofong Divine Emperor managed to force Elder Sa Luo of the insect nest to compensate him with 1 billion primordial crystals. His strength must not be inferior to the insect nest master. A single compensation amounted to 1 billion primordial crystals. For a powerhouse like Luofong Divine Emperor, earning primordial crystals is effortless, but we have to risk our lives to earn them. Last time we went hunting, the 5 of us joined forces and barely captured prey worth over 9 million primordial crystals. We were even chased by a low-level primordial lifeform and narrowly escaped. The 5 cultivators lamented as they chatted. So, Brother Zhang, why did you call us together this time? As we agreed earlier, we weren't planning to hunt for the next 10,000 eras. These cultivators didn't have avatars. Every time they went hunting they were extremely cautious, as the slightest mistake could cost them their lives. Calling everyone together isn't about hunting. It's about a joyous matter. A skinny man smiled. With his laughter, invisible waves instantaneously enveloped 2 of the cultivators present. These invisible waves were a mental invasion. The 2 affected cultivators were mid-stage Divine Emperor bloodline cultivators, whose spiritual will was inherently influenced by their bloodline. At this moment, the bizarre mental invasion caused them to experience a flood of chaotic memories, leaving them unsure of their identities. Only a few breaths later, the 2 cultivators' pained expressions turned back to normal. Haha, 2 new physical bodies acquired. The skinny man immediately transmitted mentally. These cultivators are far inferior to us in terms of mental techniques. We were born to transcend the braided cage. This, Enchanting Heart Secret Technique, is an innate secret technique. How could they compare? Among the 5 cultivators present, 2 were actually low-level primordial lifeforms controlling split minds. The commander says there will be an operation soon. He told us to behave for now. Doesn't matter. The commander cares about the high-level members of the race. As for us low-level ones, the commander never really pays attention to us. Even if there's a major operation, we low-level ones are useless anyway. True. The 2 low-level primordial lifeforms exchanged thoughts privately. The low-level primordial lifeform species always operated in a strict hierarchy. Those of the species with early-stage Divine Emperor strength were entirely ignored by the commander. Even those at the mid-stage Divine Emperor strength still held low status. Only those who reached late-stage Divine Emperor strength would truly garner the commander's attention. We've already killed several cultivators. The more we kill, the easier it is for us to expose flaws. Yulan City's defensive system is intricate and even monitors every cultivator. While we won't be discovered short-term, over time, we will be exposed. Then let's hurry and hunt. The more cultivators we hunt, the closer we are to a breakthrough. If we achieve a breakthrough, our bloodline will evolve. Even if we lose some avatars, we gain immensely. But if we lose many avatars before the bloodline evolution, then it's a loss. Continue searching for prey. 2 cultivators promptly left the cave mansion and began to fly leisurely within the city. Like most cultivators, they wandered around the city, visiting various stores without revealing any abnormalities. At this moment, Luofong was in seclusion, cultivating. Though he had no deliberate pursuit of the late-stage Divine Emperor life and death Dao, his accumulation continued to deepen. Techniques like his Undying Blood Sea Body and Biomimetic Destruction Eye had both evolved to new levels. Swish. The Biomimetic Destruction Eye on Luofeng's brow seemed to have become far more profound than before. The intricacies within the secret treasure, Eye of Life and Death, were rooted in the fusion of life and death. As Luofong delved deeper into the fundamental essence of this fusion, his understanding of the Eye of Life and Death naturally grew richer. Such a secret technique became increasingly terrifying. Boom. Luofeng's Biomimetic Destruction Eye naturally penetrated the formation of his cave mansion, observing the vast Yulan City. The multicolored layers of Yulan City's defensive systems appeared intertwined with countless secret patterns in Luofeng's vision, operating as one cohesive whole under the stewardship of the city commander. His gaze shifted to the multitude of cultivators within Yulan City. With his far-reaching observation, many weaker cultivators' physical bodies were transparent to him, allowing him glimpses of their life mysteries. With a single glance, he discerned their cultivation systems, strength, and physical body intricacies. However, the innermost souls protected by their bodies remained less visible to Luofeng. In his observation, these protected souls looked like clusters of blurry light. My Biomimetic Destruction Eye has advanced further. I can now vaguely see cultivators' souls. Luofeng reflected, noting that he hadn't previously been able to catch such a glimpse of those souls. Each cultivator's soul was diligently safeguarded, protected to the utmost. Luofeng noticed 2 particular souls among them. Those 2 souls each concealed worm-like entities within. This is. Luofeng instantly recognized them, the Enchanting Heart Worm species? The species of low-level primordial lifeforms capable of infiltrating the 9 Rivers Sacred Realm city defenses were known to include 3 major types. the soul-devouring snake species, the Enchanting Heart Worm species, and the Void Wanderer species. The soul-devouring snakes and Enchanting Heart Worms were more common. The Void Wanderers were exceedingly rare and had only appeared a handful of times within the Nine Rivers Sacred Realm. The Enchanting Heart Worms excel with their innate secret technique, Enchanting Heart. With this single move, those with weak spiritual will are entirely helpless, their souls directly controlled. Luofong recalled the intelligence on this species. An Enchanting Heart Worm itself is akin to a mother worm, capable of spawning numerous offspring worms, reportedly up to 19. Swoosh. Luofong stealthily exited his cave mansion, with his biomimetic destruction eye locked onto the two cultivators controlled by the Enchanting Heart Worms. Since discovering infiltrating low-level primordial lifeforms, Luofong naturally wouldn't let them escape. Even the elaborate defensive systems of Yulan City rely on meticulous traces to barely detect infiltrator signs, Luofong thought, whereas my biomimetic destruction eye reveals their souls, exposing such traces. In terms of observation techniques, I must be one of the best in Yulan City. In terms of realm, Luofong stood among the highest levels in Yulan City. And his biomimetic destruction eye, derived from the secret treasure, Eye of Life and Death, indeed reached extraordinary heights. Sister Ing Tang, I just acquired some fine wine. Would you like to visit my cave mansion to sample it? These two cultivators soon invited friends, including two female cultivators. The two female cultivators readily agreed. Yulan City's strict regulations ensured reasonable safety. Gatherings among middle and lower tiers of cultivators were commonplace. Luofong followed from a distance, slightly furrowing his brow. I originally planned to track these two cultivators to uncover more Enchanting Heart Worm avatars. Luofong shook his head lightly. He couldn't stand by and let those two innocent female cultivators die. The two cultivators led the female cultivators into the cave mansion. Protected by formations, Luofeng's biomimetic destruction eye faced obstacles in observation. Even so, he could still see the four figures within through the formation. However, the formations prevented Luofeng from viewing their souls. Action. Without delay, Luofeng's figure transformed into blood light, forcefully penetrating the formation to enter the cave mansion. The cave mansions within Yulan City were all rented out officially. These formations, apart from any additional ones set up by residents, already carried original layers connected to the entire city's defense system. The moment a formation was attacked, Yulan City's defense systems would instantly detect it. Swish. When Luofeng breached the formation, Yulan City's defense systems naturally sensed the intrusion, with invisible waves beginning to cover the area. Inside the cave mansion. I'll gladly taste the fine wine you found. The two female cultivators laughed. I assure you'll be satisfied. The two, Enchanting Heart Worm, cultivators smiled brightly. Suddenly, all four sensed a terrifying blood light forcefully breaching the formation without disguise. Who dares act within Yulan City? Breaking through the cave mansion's formation. The two female cultivators exclaimed in shock. This is bad. The two Enchanting Heart Worm cultivators knew trouble was upon them. But the ferocious blood light swept over both of them in an instant. The newly evolved Undying Blood Sea body, far more terrifying than the Insect Nest Master's Insect Nest body, obliterated the Enchanting Heart Worm cultivators in a split second, leaving only corpses. As blood light coalesced into Luofeng's figure, he held two worm-like offspring of the Enchanting Heart Worms in his hand. Enchanting Heart Worm species? The two female cultivators finally felt fear at this moment. One was an early-stage Divine Emperor enlightened, the other a mid-stage Divine Emperor bloodline cultivator. Against slightly powerful Enchanting Heart Worms, neither had any hope of resisting. The Enchanting Heart Worms relied only on their innate secret technique, Enchanting Heart. Those who could resist survived, while those who couldn't were controlled, effectively dead. Crunch. Luofeng stared at the two Enchanting Heart Worm spawns, instantly crushing them into dust, leaving no trace of vitality. Two agonizing mental screams rang out but couldn't shake Luofeng in the slightest. Having exterminated the two spawns, Luofeng's karmic connection with the true body behind these worms significantly strengthened. Brother Luofeng, thank you for eliminating two low-level primordial lifeforms that infiltrated Yulan City. A distant voice echoed, clearly from Yulan City's defense systems acknowledging Luofeng's actions. Luofeng didn't mind, his biomimetic destruction eye focusing intently. There they are. The biomimetic destruction eye at Luofeng's brow spotted two clearer and heavier karmic lines among many. These lines stretched far into the distance and branched off in several directions. Swoosh. Luofeng instantly transformed into 9 blood-light figures, each pursuing different targets along the branching karmic lines. In the outer city district of Yulan City, within an ordinary cave mansion. Not good, one of my subworms has been discovered. A cultivator within the cave mansion sensed something, slightly puzzled. How did this subworm avatar of mine get exposed? The Enchanting Heart Worm clan possesses strong disguising capabilities, infiltrating the soul of cultivators. Many of the defense systems in Yulan City are unable to detect them. Generally, the exposure of one avatar does not affect the others. It seems I need to be more cautious. The cultivator thought, remaining inside the cave mansion. In just a moment, boom. A streak of blood light instantly penetrated the formation of this ordinary cave mansion in the outer city district, also sweeping past the cultivator. The cultivator's eyes widened, still in disbelief. The blood light condensed into the figure of Luofong, holding a subworm of the Enchanting Heart Worm in his hand. These Enchanting Heart Worms are crafty. Usually, only subworms enter the city, while the mother worm might be hiding outside the city. Luofong frowned, aware that the infiltrating Enchanting Heart Worm clan and soul-devouring snake clan are indeed the most dreaded by cultivators. As for the Void Wanderer clan, their appearances in the entire Nine Rivers Sacred Realm are extremely rare, and their threat can be ignored. Boom, boom, boom. One after another, Luofeng's avatars, using the Biomimetic Destruction Eye to follow the causality line, hunted down each Enchanting Heart Worm avatar. Not good. The cultivator can track my numerous avatars. With successive avatars being captured, the other avatars panicked as well. An Enchanting Heart Worm can only produce 19 subworms, so losing just one is a significant loss. Quickly, out of the city. In a gathering of cultivators, two exchanged glances and resolutely stood up to leave. Shiku brother, why are you two leaving so soon? Other cultivators at the gathering asked. Urgent matters. The two cultivators answered perfunctorily, preparing to leave. Suddenly, a streak of blood light pierced through the formation in a flash, sweeping past the two departing cultivators who fell powerless. The blood light condensed beside them into the figure of Luofong. Two more subworms. Luofong looked at the two Enchanting Heart Worm subworms in his hand and instantly crushed them. The gathered cultivators also saw the Enchanting Heart Worm subworms and recognized Luofong. Shiku brother and the other were actually controlled by the Enchanting Heart Worm? The Enchanting Heart Worm must be targeting us, planning to control us? The group of cultivators shuddered with fear. Thank you, Senior Luofong. The present cultivators, primarily at the level of Divine Emperor Early Stage Enlightened, were aware of Luofeng's intelligence. Knowing this powerfully subdued Elder Tianhe, ignoring the might of the insect nest completely. Senior Luofong, I am Nanfeng Yu. A woman hurriedly spoke. Thank you, Senior Luofong, for saving our lives. Luofong glanced at the woman, a formal member responsible for sales at the Dan Tower. They had met several times. Luofong nodded slightly. Nanfeng Yu was quite excited. Swish. Luofong transformed into blood light and vanished. Enchanting Heart Worms infiltrating Yulan City are extremely difficult to trace. Yet Senior Luofong can hunt them down. The cultivators present were shocked, as their weaker perception failed to detect any trace of the Enchanting Heart Worm when face to face. Confronting the Enchanting Heart Worm, they could only endure the innate secret technique, Enchanting Heart. This is one reason cultivators highly value spiritual will. The stronger the spiritual will, the greater the hope to resist, Enchanting Heart. Within an ordinary cave mansion in the outer city district, a slender cultivator sat cross-legged. What is going on? The slender cultivator mentally linked with companions, our Enchanting Heart Worm clan with its 35 branches in the Nine Rivers Sacred Realm, assembled in Yulan City this time. This action must not fail. How did ordinary members of the Enchanting Heart Worm clan launch attacks suddenly? From which branch is the attacking member? It's from my branch. A voice responded, according to the king's instructions, those below the leader must be kept secret. I brought my clan to Yulan City, only restraining the core forces under my command. As for the middle and lower level clans, I merely advised caution without many orders. Jiuyu. As we approach the crucial moment, we must all remain hidden, not act further. Occasional attacks by the lower ranks are a common occurrence in every cultivator city. If a prolonged period goes by without any lurking attacks, that would indeed be suspicious. Leader Jiuyu responded. Fine, fine. The slender cultivator conveyed mentally, remember, if ordinary members are exposed, let them die. Don't save companions to avoid exposing more of our clan. Understood. We get it. The matter of the king is of utmost importance. Each leader responded. Low-level primordial life forms typically live in the Nine Rivers, hunting cultivators based on the positions of the 35 cities of the Nine Rivers Sacred Realm, forming 35 enormous branches. The Enchanting Heart Worm has a branch around the Yulan City area. The different branches are far apart and rarely interact. Yet this time, summoned by the king, the 35 branches of the Enchanting Heart Worm clan in the Nine Rivers Sacred Realm all responded. Each branch has over half of its core forces quietly converging in Yulan City. The slender cultivator looked at the elderly cultivator approaching from a distance. I have received word that your Enchanting Heart Worm clan members have taken action? Queried the elderly cultivator. The lower ranks acted on their own. The slender cultivator spoke mentally. The closer we get to the end, the less we can afford any carelessness. This time, the soul-devouring snake clan is expending over half its strength across the entire Nine Rivers Sacred Realm. Additionally, the kings are all prepared. At any cost, we're coordinating internally and externally to completely overthrow Yulan City, the elderly cultivator transmitted telepathically. Such a massive price cannot allow for any slip-ups. This is merely a low-level attack, a trivial matter, nothing to mention. Occasional lurking attacks are the norm for Yulan City. The slender cultivator also used this rationale. Prolonged periods without attacks would only make the 3 hall masters of Yulan City suspicious. Alright then. By the way, when will the king arrive? The elderly cultivator asked further. Be ready to act any time, the slender cultivator said. The elderly cultivator stopped questioning. A red-robed cultivator stood watching as a streak of blood light attacked a cave mansion in the sky and swiftly departed. Though in close contact with one another, Luofeng did not sense anything amiss with this red-robed cultivator. According to the intelligence, this cultivator was Luofeng. The red-robed cultivator observed, seems he should rank among the top 20 in Yulan City. However, in the entire Yulan City, the only one worthy of attention is the Wei Yang Palace Master. The red-robed cultivator looked off towards the city's core area. Yuanxiang Palace Master's injuries have worsened, and he probably no longer dares to make a move. Master Gai Tao is wholly absorbed in artifact refining and essentially very selfish. Faced with a large-scale city siege, he would likely choose to flee at the first opportunity, the red-robed cultivator thought. Though Wei Yang Palace Master is also selfish and ruthless, he has invested too much into Yulan City to easily abandon it, treating it as his domain. My first target is the Wei Yang Palace Master. Eliminate him first. With Wei Yang Palace Master dead, the rest will be much easier. The red-robed cultivator strolled leisurely, remaining inconspicuous among the countless cultivators in Yulan City. Luofeng stood high in the air, absorbing his avatars into his body. I killed a total of 15 Enchanting Heart Worm avatars, Luofeng thought. These 15 Enchanting Heart Worm avatars were all subworm avatars. They should belong to 2 different Enchanting Heart Worms. Killing these avatars, the 2 Enchanting Heart Worms should also be heavily weakened. Facing so many avatars, Luofeng was also quite troubled. Just like Source World experts, it's very difficult to kill them completely. Now Luofeng faced a similar problem. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Suddenly, waves of fluctuations descended, enveloping the areas where Luofeng previously hunted, and inspection teams from Yulan City arrived, starting the rapid capture of numerous cultivators. According to Yulan City regulations, when low-level primordial life forms lurk and attack, the 1,000 cave mansions surrounding the lurking residents must be carefully screened to prevent a low-level primordial life form from attaching. According to Yulan City regulations, during the lurking period, all known cultivators must also be carefully screened. All cultivators must cooperate with inspections. Violators will be executed without mercy. The cultivators in each area were taken aback, but upon hearing the patrol team's announcement, they all obediently cooperated. When low-level primordial life forms lurk, should you know them, please cooperate with the screening. The patrol team began capturing cultivators one by one. These cultivators were bewildered but dared not resist. Captures were made everywhere. Luofeng watched all of this from afar. It's dismal. They say to cooperate with inspections, but those who don't hand over a large sum of primordial crystals won't get out in a short time. Having associated with lurking low-level primordial life forms, they have to be fleeced. Many cultivators were whispering quietly among themselves. This was also a common occurrence in Yulan City. Every time a lurking attack was discovered, a screening would ensue. The screened members, even if not controlled, would be thoroughly extorted. Suddenly, a patrol team approached Luofeng, and the patrol team leader respectfully said, Luofeng, thank Luo Feng Divine Emperor for discovering 15 Enchanting Heart Worm avatars and saving more cultivators. Luofeng watched all this. Senior Luofeng. From afar, a captured female cultivator seeing Luofeng quickly called out, it was Nan Fengyu. Luo Feng Divine Emperor, do you know her? The patrol team leader Chiofeng asked. Luofeng nodded, she is a member of my Dan Tower. I can assure you she is not possessed. With Luo Feng Divine Emperor's assurance, it's no problem, release her. The patrol team leader ordered and Nan Fengyu was released. Thank you, Senior Luofeng. Nan Fengyu quickly expressed gratitude. Luofeng nodded, his mood sour. Even though he was hunting low-level primordial life forms, Enchanting Heart Worm, tens of thousands of cultivators were implicated, all going through screening, being extorted. For those ordinary cultivators, earning a bit of primordial crystals was not easy. Yuanxiang Palace Master. Luofeng immediately communicated with Yuanxiang Palace Master. Haha Luofeng. How did you discover the Enchanting Heart Worm clan? Even managing to identify 15 avatars. Yuanxiang Palace Master responded, seemingly delighted. Luofeng did not hide the truth and transmitted a message. One of my observation secret techniques has recently made a breakthrough. It allows me to observe the soul of a cultivator and determine whether their soul is being controlled. You can see it with a single glance? Yuanxiang Palace Master was both astonished and delighted. The infiltration of low-level primordial life into cities was a challenge faced by all 35 cities in the Nine Rivers Sacred Realm. The vast majority of cities were unable to detect them, relying instead on subtle clues and the deduction of celestial mechanisms for confirmation. If a cultivator is present and there is no formation concealing them, I can see through over 90% of the cultivators at a glance. However, if there are powerful secret techniques or secret treasures masking them, I will need to examine them one-on-one at close range. If a cultivator is hiding inside a cave mansion and its formation is concealing them, then I won't be able to see clearly, Luofeng replied. His biomimetic destruction eye was, after all, an imitative secret technique, and its observational capabilities still had many limitations. Even so, it's very impressive. Yuanxiang Palace Master was overjoyed. Even in the dark sacred realm, being able to discern at a glance whether someone's soul is controlled is a rare ability found only among the strongest. In my prime, I did not possess such observational techniques. Across the entire Nine Rivers Sacred Realm, there may only be one or two others who can rival you in this ability, Yuanxiang Palace Master said happily. With you in Yulan City, its security will be significantly enhanced. Having such a powerful figure overseeing a city drastically increased the difficulty of low-level primordial life launching assassination attempts. If they infiltrated, they would have to act quickly. Long-term lurking increased their risk of being exposed. Luofeng, I hope you can assist us by thoroughly investigating the entire city, Yuanxiang Palace Master said. Start with those walking outside. Then I will issue a notice to the entire city, arranging for all cave mansion formations to be disabled in phases, so you can check them one by one. The cave mansions were rented, and Yulan City naturally had control over their formations. However, if cultivators had set up their own formations, Yulan City couldn't forcibly deactivate them. The cultivators themselves would need to disable them. The plan to phase out and disable all the cave mansion formations citywide was uniform. No one in the city would dare oppose it. I can confirm that there are definitely a good number of low-level primordial life lurking in the city, but we can only detect a minimal amount of evidence, Yuanxiang Palace Master said with worry. A comprehensive screening will make things significantly safer. Without proper authority, my actions won't carry weight, Luofong transmitted. If I'm to be responsible for a citywide screening, I'll need the position of Heaven Patrol Palace Commander in Yulan City. Heaven Patrol Palace Commander? Yuanxiang Palace Master hesitated. The Heaven Patrol Palace was the headquarters for all patrol and guard units in the city. The position of Heaven Patrol Palace Commander consisted of one main commander and two deputy commanders. The sole main commander position was currently held by the Shadow Tower Lord. For instance, during the current investigation of tens of thousands of cultivators, ensuring they hadn't been possessed was an effort personally overseen by the Shadow Tower Lord. The Shadow Tower Lord was highly adept at soul-related techniques, and his one-on-one close examinations could identify anyone possessed. The Heaven Patrol Palace Commander is mainly responsible for screening for lurking low-level primordial life, Luofong transmitted. Since I'm being asked to handle this role and may be required to continue doing this in the future, I deserve the corresponding appointment. Yuanxiang Palace Master understood as well. Asking Luofeng to examine the entire city was clearly not a one-time request. It would require periodic screenings over time. All right. Yuanxiang Palace Master transmitted. The position of Heaven Patrol Palace Commander is now yours. You can proceed to the Heaven Patrol Palace and coordinate the handover with the Shadow Tower Lord. Luofeng nodded slightly. Each time lurking low-level primordial life were discovered, thousands or tens of thousands of affiliated cultivators would be captured for screening. Batch after batch would be taken in, and although most emerged safely, they would leave with their treasures thoroughly drained. This systematic exploitation was even more ruthless than the three major looting factions' theft and plundering. Wei Yang Palace Master is unfit to manage Yulan City. At present, Luofeng lacked the upper hand in terms of power as both sides were on the same level. However, once he elevated his mastery of the life and death Dao by another level, his superiority would dominate the entire city. By that point, certain matters would become much easier to handle. Swoosh. Luofeng turned and flew toward the direction of the Heaven Patrol Palace at Yulan City's core. Yuanxiang Palace Master sat within his cave mansion, his aura somewhat weak. Wei Yang Gai Tao. Yuanxiang Palace Master directly contacted his two companions. Whoosh, whoosh. Two phantom figures appeared next to him, Wei Yang Palace Master and Gai Tao Palace Master. Brother Yuanxiang. Wei Yang Palace Master greeted him with a polite smile. At his peak, Yuanxiang Palace Master had been a figure who mastered 2.5 half-primordial level paths. Even in the dark sacred realm, his influence was substantial. Many of Yuanxiang Palace Master's friends were of the same level, a network that spoke for itself. As long as Yuanxiang Palace Master was alive, Wei Yang Palace Master had to give him due respect. Brother Yuanxiang, what prompted you to call the two of us so suddenly? Gai Tao Palace Master asked as well. I've decided to hand over the position of Heaven Patrol Palace Commander to Luofeng, Yuanxiang Palace Master said directly. Oh. Gai Tao Palace Master raised an eyebrow and smiled faintly. I've heard about a strong cultivator named Luofeng emerging in Yulan City of late. Absolutely not. But Wei Yang Palace Master immediately objected. The position of Heaven Patrol Palace Commander is of great importance as it concerns the safety of the entire city. Moreover, screening cultivators for possession is an extremely challenging task. Shadow Tower Lord has been doing an excellent job. But Luofeng can do even better, Yuanxiang Palace Master replied. Today alone he captured 15 avatars of Enchanting Heart Worms because he has a secret technique that allows him to determine from a distance with one glance whether a cultivator is possessed. How is that even possible? Both Wei Yang Palace Master and Gai Tao Palace Master were visibly shocked. Such a powerful observational secret technique? With such a technique he should be able to screen the entire city in less than a day, Wei Yang Palace Master frowned. Why the need to assign him the Heaven Patrol Palace Commander position? Yuanxiang Palace Master chuckled. But he said it himself. If he is to painstakingly perform the task, he has but one request, the Heaven Patrol Palace Commander position. He's far too greedy? Wei Yang Palace Master was enraged. The discovery of lurkers in Yulan City was a regular occurrence, and each screening yielded terrifyingly large profits. The Shadow Tower Lord was technically the one in charge, but the majority of the income ultimately flowed into Wei Yang Palace Master's hands. Now that Luofeng was claiming this position, Wei Yang Palace Master would lose a prime source of continual revenue. Just because he claims expertise in observation doesn't make it so, Wei Yang Palace Master retorted. Finding 15 Enchanting Heart Worm avatars might have been due to some unusual circumstance. Everything must be prioritized for Yulan City's safety, Yuan Xiang Palace Master said solemnly. If his observational and screening abilities are indeed superior, let him take on the commander position for now. If he proves to be ineffectual, we can then revoke his appointment. I have no objections, Gai Tao Palace Master said. Then it's settled, Yuan Xiang Palace Master stated. Wei Yang Palace Master felt stifled. Although Yuan Xiang Palace Master was not one to fight over power or profit, when he decided on something, Wei Yang Palace Master could do little to oppose it. After all, Yuan Xiang Palace Master was the city builder and held the highest authority. Sitting in his quiet room, Wei Yang Palace Master's expression turned grim. He had long foreseen that Luofeng might pose a certain degree of threat. He had even contemplated that one day a fourth Palace Master, Luofeng Palace Master, might emerge. But the threat had arrived far sooner than he expected. How long has he been in Yulan City? And he's already taken the Heaven Patrol Palace Commander position from us. Wei Yang Palace Master was visibly displeased. The majority of elders held merely honorary positions, responsible for their respective defensive systems and receiving only a fixed income, nothing more. The Heaven Patrol Palace Commander role, however, was a true powerhouse position brimming with tremendous profit. In the past, Yuan Xiang Palace Master hadn't contended for it, leaving it to Wei Yang Palace Master's faction. Shadow Tower Lord. Wei Yang Palace Master immediately transmitted a message. Palace Master. A virtual image of a middle-aged figure appeared nearby. Your position as Heaven Patrol Palace Commander has been taken, Wei Yang Palace Master stated. What? Shadow Tower Lord was visibly taken aback. This position was far too lucrative. Those sent into the Heaven Patrol Palace never left without all their treasures being drained before they were allowed to walk free. It was Yuan Xiang Palace Master's decision, and I couldn't stop it. Wei Yang Palace Master shook his head. Who is the new commander? Shadow Tower Lord pressed for an answer. That Luofeng, Wei Yang Palace Master replied. Him? Shadow Tower Lord frowned. I already suspected Luofeng wasn't someone content to remain ordinary when he bested the insect nest. But I didn't anticipate him seizing my commander position on his first major move. Palace Master, are we just going to let him take it? I couldn't persuade Yuan Xiang Palace Master otherwise, Wei Yang Palace Master admitted. Invite Luofeng. Bring him to my cave mansion, I will speak with him myself. Should he voluntarily relinquish the commander role, even Yuan Xiang Palace Master would have no objections. Understood. Shadow Tower Lord nodded. Losing such a continuous and enormous stream of revenue was something neither Wei Yang Palace Master nor Shadow Tower Lord was willing to tolerate. The core region of Yulan City, the Heaven Patrol Palace. This was the military headquarters for the many patrol and guard teams and also the location where prisoners were detained. Whoosh. 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 Patrol teams escorted large groups of cultivators to the Heaven Patrol Palace. These were individuals suspected of having connections with lurking primordial beings. The cultivators wore expressions of helplessness, unable to take action against their predicament. They could only curse their bad luck. Once you enter the Heaven Patrol Palace, you'll probably be drained clean, the cultivators thought with despair, one by one being escorted in and locked away separately. Whoosh. Luofeng now arrived near the Heaven Patrol Palace as well. Brother Luofeng. A middle-aged man, leading a group of subordinates, stepped forward to greet him. This middle-aged man was one of the Shadow Tower Lord's most common avatars. Shadow Tower. Luofeng looked at him, his heart filled with disdain toward this man. In his eyes, such individuals were the scum of the cultivator world. If it were up to him, he would have executed them all. I've received orders to transfer the commander position to Brother Luofeng, Shadow Tower Lord said with a smile, noticing Luofeng's unfriendly demeanor but choosing not to take issue with it. The commander position of the Heaven Patrol Palace carries great responsibility. I hope Brother Luofeng will dedicate yourself to it. I understand, Luofeng replied. There's one more important matter, Shadow Tower Lord said with a sly grin. Wei Yang Palace Master has instructed me to ensure Brother Luofeng visits his cave mansion. Shall we head there now? Wei Yang Palace Master wants to see me? Luofeng mused internally. The Heaven Patrol Palace Commander position was clearly a coveted chunk of meat for Wei Yang Palace Master's faction. Now that Luofeng seized it, Wei Yang Palace Master was likely not pleased. Though they viewed it as a treasure trove, Luofeng had no intention of oppressing tens of thousands of cultivators for riches. I've just taken office today and there's pressing work, the screening of tens of thousands of cultivators, Luofeng said. Once I've completed my duties, I'll naturally visit Wei Yang Palace Master. Luofeng. Shadow Tower Lord's figure shifted slightly, blocking Luofeng's path. You intend to make Wei Yang Palace Master wait? Step aside. Luofeng's gaze turned cold. This is the Heaven Patrol Palace. Are you planning to challenge its commander here? The nearby patrol teams were bewildered but instinctively sided with their new commander. Fine, very well. Shadow Tower Lord smirked. I'll be sure to relay every word you've said to Wei Yang Palace Master. With that, his figure flickered and vanished. Luofong sneered slightly and continued flying toward the main entrance of the Heaven Patrol Palace. The guards at the main gate had been waiting in anticipation. When Luofong approached, they saluted with utmost respect. "Commander." Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and turn on the notifications so you won't miss any of our upcoming great videos.